Something pretty scary happening right now with AI that nobody's really talking about. The more I get my sites to show up at the top of Google and AI search results, the more I get traffic from ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity and a whole bunch of language models, the more I'm realizing this is a big issue. And today I really wanted to share what's currently working for me in getting traffic from AI language models. I manage a couple of hundred websites actively on a monthly basis. So I wouldn't say that's crazy amounts of data, but my job is to constantly keep my client sites and my sites acquiring leads however way I possibly can. And while I get leads from Google ads and Facebook ads, today I wanted to share what is still and currently working for me with getting my content, my service pages, my blogs to be quoted by AI, and then a little bit of traffic comes our way. So I have been saying this for a while, and once again, this is just my opinion and what I'm personally seeing with my sites and the data I'm receiving from mentorships from around the world. I'm seeing that AI search is nothing more than just a convenient overlay to the giants like Bing and Google. Without being technical, a really simple explanation is back in the day when Google came along, the analogy was imagine a big library filled with books, and you want to find the most relevant books to your desires. You want to learn maths, you want to learn cooking, bang, there's the section with the cooking books, and you have your list of books to choose from. And obviously that over years that's evolved. AI is the librarian that then will quickly go and find that cookbook for midgets cooking in Thai food on a weekend after a golf session. So it's just like an additional string of queries to go a bit deeper, and it's bloody useful. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but we've become so lazy that we need the AI to do the thinking for us. And hey, most of the time it delivers good results, but it's really easy to manipulate, and there's always a cost of entry to market to make it believe you. But this makes me realize that just like SEO and black hat SEO and manipulating search results, the same happens with this. And it's like the phrase shit in, shit out. You feed the accounting software rubbish data, it will spit out rubbish results with finance, which is quite alarming because I keep away from dark spaces. Dark spaces like super competitive spaces, criminal lawyers, casino, gambling, pharmaceutical, I guess lucrative spaces. But I know plenty of people around the world that I follow, mentors that are actively in these spaces. And those people are commonly really stressing the boundaries of stressing the limits of what Google will allow, and they're the ones getting manual penalties. But they do it as a science experiment to see what works. If Eugenius over here, when he wants to hit a niche really hard, he might build 10 sites, 20 sites, 30 sites, 50 sites with 100 of pages of each, blogs, links. These guys, these divisions, these teams can build millions of sites, millions of links, right? So different scale. And so I get that data and I keep updated. And so what I'm finding is currently working is first understanding that AI is not its own database anymore. Maybe it was when ChatGPT first went live, maybe it basically it indexed data and looked into it, but now, only from what I'm seeing, it's just dipping into the search results. ChatGPT dips into Bing, but then, funny enough, when certain pages on Bing are actually not indexed, it's getting the latest results from Google and Perplexity. Now, don't hold me to that. It's just what I'm noticing, because it's getting data from within a few hours. So it's not caching a lot of data. Once again, don't fight me on it. It's just what I'm seeing. What I'm also seeing is sites that rank top 10 in Google naturally are also being cited more on AI language models. So doing good foundational SEO the standard way, backlinks, authority, pages, on-page, technical, mobile responsiveness, answering the query, topical authority, proving yourself trustworthy, gets you mentioned and listed in AI overviews and geo. What I'm seeing work really well is understanding the actual query that ChatGPT or AI asks. So there's something that we ask, which is best boxing gyms in Sydney, for example. And then there's the actual query of what ChatGPT will Google or Bing. And you can actually get that in the source code of your Google Chrome if you hit F12 and you go inspect, and there's a couple of ways that you can do it, but there's a couple of software that will show it to you. And so basically there's what we search, and then there's the search that ChatGPT makes. And so it's important to build pages or clusters of content that answer those particular queries. They're called fan out queries, which is like long tail phrases, right? And it's just have those on the site, answer those on your YouTube channel, because YouTube has the transcription, YouTube is a search engine, you'll get picked up. Then what's working for us is actually keeping track of this referral traffic, not search traffic, referral traffic. So having the right reporting set up in Google Analytics to actually see the kind of traffic that's coming from AI. Now, I've been saying this for a while, traffic is heavily down on what was previously blogs, long form guide-like content. Click-through rates are heavily down because AI is just quoting, plagiarizing, grabbing what we've written, answering it quickly, crediting us. It's a little bit of a trust signal, but the traffic is generally quite down. Like I'm seeing a less than 1% click-through rate from ChatGPT to previously what was 1 to 20, 30% click-through rate on actually showing up at the top of search. We're seeing just a complete shift. This is the new norm. And so the risks that I'm seeing is like there's no way to really police and stop misinformation, because all I'm seeing at the moment language models do is just regurgitate something that they quickly Googled and found. So if there's a blog about how to cure depression and some idiot on Reddit or another forum said something that is stupid, AI is actually quoting that stupidity. I don't want to say what it is, but you can imagine what it is. If you want to resolve this health condition, there is an extreme way to do it. And you have people that are trolling that will say dumb stuff in the comments. And I'm seeing AI literally quote it. Now, some years ago, I had the reality check that this is actually quite dangerous. Very dangerous. Like, we could sway elections, we could do lots of things. It's actually quite frightening. And some of the, I don't want to call them my mentors, but some of the people that I've bought courses from and still see their feed responsible for shifting almost elections, big government decisions on a certain topic. It was like, what was it, the Netherlands wind farm or something like that versus something else. So that was actually quite difficult to do, because that was basically storm the internet with millions of articles or thousands of well-written, researched articles, send backlinks to those articles rank. It's the same thing. What's going to happen right now is ChatGPT is going to regurgitate those articles, whether or not it's true or not. There's no real proper way to fact check it, where it's basically shit in, shit out. Now, the benefit to the little business is you just need to be mentioned. You find all the directories to be listed on. You try be listed on high authority sites as the best gym or best dentist or best whatever, right? Because that's currently how you show up in AI search. If you don't, someone else will. So all of a sudden, my 800 or so personal sites that I've had for years that were always there as, I call them white hat sites. They're all sites that are progressed, that are like micro businesses in that niche, websites in the dental space or accounting space. Those websites show up in particular suburbs and push leads to my client campaigns. I also continued building them because they were a good source of links. I would sell those sites, I would rent those sites, but most of the time they just power up my current campaigns. Now, some years back I discovered that listicle posts do quite well on rankings, and so I built top 10 arborists and top 10 wedding venues, and they popped, and for many years they were sitting at the top. When AI came along, it basically culled a lot of the affiliate sites, a lot of those listicle sites, because they were simply the middleman of what AI was going to do anyway. AI wants to give you that answer of list the top 10 of these. But what ended up happening was those listicle posts may have lost the traffic, but they're being quoted by AI as the source of truth. So if you create 20 blogs, 20 guides in a unique way, and you have a unique writing style, you'll have ChatGPT quoting you very quickly. And you don't even need many backlinks to do that. It might be an exact match domain. If you build 10 of those, you'll have ChatGPT and AI quoting you quite quickly. Now, there's always a competition and cost of entry to market, because if other SEOs are doing this, well, that's the cost of entry. You have to do something that's better than them. And a lot of the time that just falls into basic fundamentals of SEO, which is on page, proving authority, backlinks. I also have issues with the ideology that AI is being programmed with. You ask it a question like, draw me a photograph of the recent 10 popes that we had in Italy. Now, obviously, pope is a white male. You'll have Google's AI draw females of... Oh, doggy. Yeah, it's actually wild. You ask for some sort of history and it will just make it up or hallucinate. It's very scary. And of course, at the moment, there is no consistency. All of my prompt trackers, AI rank trackers, every single update, they basically reset. So I'd be skeptical to follow any kind of and pay for any kind of monthly service that gives you results, because it changes literally by the hour. What I do to keep track of is just the general mentions of my brand in AI, and tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush have some nice dashboards that do that. It's just interesting for me to see the average number go up or down. And where I see that number really drastically change is where I rewrite the blog, the guide, a post in a skimmable way, where I get to the point really fast, I remove the fluff, I create personal experiences, I create a unique tone and other stuff. And so that will get cited by AI, because the crawler just needs to get to the information really quickly, see if this is the relevant post. Whether it's the true data is a separate conversation, and that goes quite deep. I'm not sure if the ethics are in the right place at the moment, but hey, we're early days. It's only going to hopefully get better from here, or we're all just going to be on an infinite loop of misinformation.